Alright, now I'm getting ready to slide or tap this bushing in on the left hand side. So I want to put a little bit of oil on that, both inside and out. And also, to help matters out a little bit, I went ahead and slid the shaft back out the right hand side a little bit. Had to line my key up, get it slid out there, because it's got to have 3 hands again to get this bushing started in its spot, and then also be able to tap my little bearing pusher right there. So here goes nothing. And it didn't start. So a little bit of a raised edge out there. Get a little bit of this paper right here. And just feather that off right around that edge there. Hopefully that'll let it start a little easier. And a little bit more oil. And we'll try it again. I think we got it started. Yep, got it started because there's my shaft right there. I'll go ahead and line my shaft back up and slide it back in. All right. Piece of pipe, see if I can go ahead and finish driving her in there. Sounds like she's pretty solid right there. Alright, yep, it does slide up in there. There's a shoulder up in there. This should go up and hit. Which stops that bushing. Yep, stopped it right there on that shoulder. That worked just like a champ. Alrighty. Now we'll flip her around and get the other one in. Alrighty now. Got her flipped around. Got that edge right there polished up a little bit. Some oil on there. Oil on the inside. Making sure my oil grooves go to the inside. This time it should be a little easier to line up, hopefully. There we go, right there. I think we got her. Yep. Right there. Yep, there we go. Alright, my first goof up putting this thing back together. My key came out of the shaft during the process of putting the bushings in. And apparently I turned the shaft upside down, and when I slid it out to make it easier to line that one bushing up, it fell out in between the clutch and this gear right here. So I had to pull it back out. It was laying right in there. So now I got to drive this right hand bushing back out so I can put it back together and then put that bushing back in there. So let's see what we can do to get that bushing out without tearing it up any worse than what it already, well, without tearing it up. I'll put it that way. Okay, got a bushing drivers right here. I'll see if I can find one to fit this one, the old one. Alright, that should be able to go on the inside and drive it back out, hopefully without tearing up anything. Now, put the shaft through there and assemble this in here. So learn from my mistakes and don't turn that shaft. Don't push it out. Make your job easier. Okay, I got it lined up, but have something to get on the end of that so I can drive it out. And I don't want to beat on my shaft and mar that up. So let me look around, see what I can find. All right, hopefully a 1/2 inch drive extension will do well. Let's see. Trying not to hit my bushing that I have in this side. There you have it. Okay, let's see if we can do this again, but not repeat exactly what we did again. Get it right this time. That goes on the right side. Small gear on this side. Clutch pin slid out. Make sure you're back in place. Okay, got that lined up. Put my key back in there again. Line it back up. Looks a lot easier than the manual. All right. Maybe it'd be best to put the bearing in the left side first before putting the shaft in. Coming out the bearing shaft over here. Line my keyway up. Slide her up in there. Up against the clutch. I'll get back with you. You don't want to watch this. Alrighty, well, I finally got her in there, and got the shaft evened up. Got her where you can hold the clutch and shaft won't turn. Another thing I found that helped out a whole lot, and if you watch from the beginning, it tells you that there is a line-up position on this gear on the right hand side, and there you can see the two little notches, and it also says that there's one for the clutch, but in my case there was not one, and going back together is kind of hit and miss, and you got to turn things around. I think that's where part of the trouble where I got into. What I did was I took an ink pen or a paint pen I had, and I went ahead and put a red line on top of the clutch where the keyway lines up, and that made it line up a whole lot easier. Also, I try to get your shot down in there. The bronze bushing comes in a predetermined amount. That's why you drive it down flush with the shoulder out here, and the same thing on the other side, and that's what keeps the gears in place. That puts a certain amount of load, not really load on, just a spacer, holds them to a certain depth away from the walls. So next I'm going to work on the pinion gear, which goes up here in the front, and have it right here already taken apart. There's the pinion gear shaft part of it. There's the other part that goes in from the other side. There's a bearing on this side right here that came out with it. I don't have the facilities here to get that bearing off, so I'm probably going to take it to work, and we have bearing separators there where I can get up underneath there and then press it out. So before I go trying to booger that up with what tools I got here, I'll just call it a day, because I'm planning on heading up close to work tomorrow, and I'll take care of that then. We'll get back with you later.